Good evening, sir, and we are the Group 1 reporters, and the following topics that will be discussed. But before that, let's have an overview first. This topic we are able to tackle all about what computers are, how they work, how they are used, computer terminology, the overview of the history of computer, basic types of computers in use today, and how to access resource on the internet, and also the social impacts of computer. First, why we need to learn computers? We need to learn computers because computers has pervasive computing and basic computer literacy. Pervasive means unwelcome influence or ubiquitous computing. Computers widely spreads nowadays, mostly rampant for today's generation, and has been used for daily works as well as for education, daily lives, and even business aspects. That is the reason why computers have become an integral part of our lives. Its basic computer literacy is for us to know and understand what computer is and how it works. Now, let's talk about the history of computers, its terminology, etymology, and timeline. Way back on 1980, computers were large and expensive, wherein people during 1980 could not provide it, except to those who can afford, as it cost during in the 1980. Kanang ang computer on 1980s are very expensive, na even there are only several people, kanang gamay lang ng mga tao ang maka-afford niini kay dili siya reliable no sa mga tao. And also it needs more space when you want to acquire of it. Kaya during that time, ang computers is large, consist of heavy siyang mga device, which also needs some space at that time. And also during 1980, also pro computers were also already exist and developed, wherein few people only has access to it. Some of its examples are the home computers. Home computers, which became very popular during the late 1980s. It was also the year wherein affordable home computers were introduced to the people, and allows millions of people to experience computing for its first time. And as time passes by, home appliances were became personal computer, since ang gitawag ni uban since clear to ZX80. One of its example during 1980s kining home computers. Nowadays, over 90% of us households include computer, and was used particularly for works, sa trabaho, or daily tasks. And since it was very much accurate, fast, and could accomplish many tasks easily. And also computer nowadays plays a vital role in our routine life, because everything has become online, wherein electronic devices are converging into single units with multiple capabilities, such like viewing internet content on mobile device only on checking emails on the television. Mao na siyang example sa convergence nga exchanging of mails, since it was a progressive merging of traditional broadcast and internet content. One of the examples of media convergence are mobile devices, smartphones, laptops, iPads, that converge different types of digital media, such like television, radio, what else, a camera, and other simple single device. We should remember that we cannot converge when there is absence of internet. So, gamitin kayo ang internet during when we want to converge in relation with computer and transferring and processing data. Did you believe that playing games, watching TV and videos, changing email, and other works gave exerted were one of the variety tasks were computer used for? And because computers is a vital tool for processing and accessing informations, as well as the data through computer programs, so you can learn more deeply and more accurately. And the next topic will be discussed to the next presenter.
So, good morning everyone. I am the next reporter. So, my topic is about the computer in education. So, what is computer in education? Computer education in school plays a major noteworthy role in the career development of young children, gaining basic knowledge as well as skills to operate computers to perform better jobs. Computer education is all about extending to its various branches of study in different fields and sectors. Computer, along with internet facility, is the most powerful device that children can use to learn new skills and abilities in education. So next is the computer labs and the classroom. So what is computer labs? Computer labs are instrumental in helping students learn, work with software programs, complete assignments, and interact with their instructors. Most commonly, these IT or information technology labs enable learners to acquire digital skills critical in the modern workplace without having to purchase their own hardware and software. So, a computer laboratory is important in every private and government school to enhance the scientific and technological research and invention capacity of the students. So, if there is a computer lab, then students can invest their own free time, their learning programming and automation and improving basic computer skills. So the things that the students can do if they have a computer lab is they can practice math equation in Microsoft Excel, they can build their own website and blogs, and the most important thing for all students can learn the latest technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, data analytics, and cloud computing, the Internet of the Things, and many others. Okay, next is campus wireless hotspot. If we can have fast connection, we can easily access the internet from anywhere on a campus to do our research, assignments. So the hotspot provide internet to wireless device by using Wi-Fi. This is convenient to those big circles of people who needs internet connections to do their specific tasks. So distance learning. So distance learning is like a virtual class where students can still attend their schedules in class at home. It happens at the moment, especially when the pandemic occurs. So there is also another example of it like modular. It means that the students will be given a module that they don't have to go to school or attend an online classes. So computer on the job. So computer on the job, it is a computer often used when we have something to work on that. Refer to editing, writing a letter, doing a presentation, and etc. So this is very useful especially when you want to make your task professionally done. So computers on the go. On the go computers are the equipment or facility that easy to access by just a click. It can already give you a data that you wanted, unlike computer on the job is you need to do everything to have a better output. So last is technology and UBAX. So in this era, technology is very useful in a human's everyday life. Some of the countries is very advanced in technology. Just like this gadget that they use in the restaurant, they use iPad for the menu, where the customers can easily order and pay their food.
Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. This time I'm gonna discuss to you the technology and UBAX. We start with the restaurant iPad ordering systems. It is used in conjunction with e-menus. Customers can place and pay for orders, can provide more resources to customers. We all know that online selling and online ordering are the most common ways of business nowadays, for the reason that we can order anytime as well as we can pay anytime if we want. Just like Grab, Food Panda or IKL, They are the one example of e-menus, which is dito na ka mo order, place order, pwede rapid ka magbayad. One of the advantages of online food ordering for customers is that it ensures prices are accurate and there's no room for errors when it's time to pay the bill. Now let's proceed to what is computer. What is a computer and what does it can do? A computer is a programmable device, electronic device that accepts data, performs operations on that data, and stores the data, follows instructions called programs, which determine the tasks the computer will perform. Ang computer daw isa siya ka programmable electronic device designed to accept data, perform prescribed mathematical and logical operations at high speed, and display the results of these operations. Mainframes, desktop, and laptop computers, tablets, and smartphones are some of the different types of computers. What this computer can do? Ang computer, it has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. You may already know that you can use a computer to disk documents, send email, play games, and browse the web. You can also use it to edit or create spreadsheets, presentations, and even videos. Computers have basic operations like input, which is entering the data into the computer, processing, performing operations on that data, output, presenting the results, and storage is saving data, programs or output for future use, and also communications, which is sending or receiving data. Kining four guys, which is the input, processing, output, and storage. Ang input guys is use types in the numbers or letters. If mag-encode ka, siyempre mulabas mo na, nakaprogram naman sa computer, which is mo na gitawag nga processing, down to output and to storage, which is very self-explanatory naman no, kay tagas naman tag mga edad tas na punta grado syaro pa ta kasabot. And now let's proceed to data versus information. Data versus information. And data is a raw unorganized facts, can be in the form of text, graphics, or audio. In addition guys, in computing, data is information that has been translated into a form that is efficient for movement or processing relative to today's computers and transmission media. Data is information converted in digital form. It is acceptable for data to be used as a singular subject or plural subjects, like examples sana guys, like text, observations, figures, images, numbers, graphs, or symbols, or even audio or videos. So unsa na pod ning information? Information is stimuli that has meaning in some context for its receiver. When information is entered into and stored in a computer, it is generally referred to as data. After processing, such as formatting or printing, output data can again be perceived as information. No? Dili ra kay sabton ang tulo guys, data, information, ug information processing. Nagtuyok-tuyok ra gid sila. And now let's proceed to computers then and now. Technology runs our lives these days. Smartphones, tablets, and computers. We really can't seem to function without them. In a very short amount of time, technology has exploded in the market, and now many people cannot imagine a life without it. To understand how we lived the dark ages, which really wasn't all that long ago, to where we are today, it is important to understand how technology evolves and why it matters. This time guys, i-discuss na siya sa akong groupmate, which is si Jovelito Vayacag.
Sir, good day. So, this is the continuation of the report for Group 1. So, computers then and now. So, when did the computers began with their generation. So we have 5 generations. So let's talk about the first generations. So in first generation of computers in 1946 to 1957, so enormous empowered by vacuum tubes computers, which is this is bigger than the memory now. No. So first generations explains that hardware technology. So when we say hardware technology, it is the basic components for memory and circuitry for CPU or the central processing unit. So the input to the computer um, was through the cards or punching cards and paper tapes. The output was displayed as printouts. So the outputs displayed as the printouts. So software technology, the instructions were written in machine or the language which uses zeros and ones. So it is the binary for coding of the instructions. One serves as an on, then 0 serves as an off. So binary codes. So in computer technology also, we have the yung tinatawag natin UNIVAC and ENIAC. So ENIAC is the electronic numerical integrator and computer, while UNIVAC is the universal automatic computer. So what is UNIVAC? UNIVAC was the first general purpose electronic digital stages. It was designed principally by G. Presper, Eckert, and John Munchley, the inventors of the ENIAC also. So the ENIAC and UNIVAC was invented by 2 persons, which is si G. Presper, Eckert, and John Munchley. So when you say ENIAC, it is the electronic numerical integrator and computer. So this is the big storage than UNIVAC. So there were other computers had these features, but the ENIAC had all of them in the package. It was during complex and able to solve a large class numerical problems. So in the first picture above, it was the vacuum tubes. This serves as the memory of the computer in first generation. So let's move forward from second to second generation rather. So second generation to 1958 1963, they used transistors. So here in second generation, the transistors was very small now, and it is more cheaper and powerful than vacuum tubes. So it consists more energy efficient. So when we say a punch cards and magnetic tape were used to input and storage data. So this is the punch card, the lower picture, then the upper picture was the transistors for the computer. So what is the use of the transistor? So the computer was in the second generation was completely based on transistors. So transistors as the basic component instead of vacuum tubes used in front no used in first generation rather. So the transistors were much better than vacuum tubes. So because the transistors were relatively small size. So makikita natin dito po na maliit talaga yung transistors kumpara nung dati dahil vacuum tubes yung ginagamit. So fast in speed, so faster than vacuum tubes, and cheap in cost. So mumura, tapos ang lakas pa ng power and maliit lang siya. So hindi na siya kailangang hindi na tayo mabibigatan dito. So this is yung makikarry lang natin. Pwede natin ilagay sa bag or sa bulsa, ganun, pero mas bawal talagang kahit saan mo lagi ilagay. So dapat may lalagyan talaga tayo dito. So kailangan i-attach natin ito sa computer, then yun. So punch cards, makikita natin yung second picture dito. Ganun na siya simple, no? Yung magta-type lang tayo dito, tapos ganun na yung output na lalabas. So let's move that the magnetic tape was an improvement over the paper tape and punch cards. So, gaya ng sinabi ko, with magnetic tape, a much larger volume of data could be stored, and the record size that could be stored on a magnetic tape was valuable. Then let's move to fifth generation. So as I said, no, this is the continuation of the report. Yung hinati-hati namin yan. So ganun. So in fifth generation, we have in 1980, so the present now, or the current technology used ULSI or AI. AI serves as the artificial intelligence parallel processing hardware. Example is yung desktop, laptop, notebook, tablet, yung removable, no, yung madadala natin kahit saan. So here the microprocessors, transistors, AI and ML, so vacuum tubes. Ganito yung muka ng mga pag-process, no. So let's talk about the fifth generation use AI. So artificial intelligence used by IBM Watson computers. So pamilya tayo dun sa Watson na mga computers. So sila yung gumagamit ito. So, in the fifth generation, first, development of expert systems, game playing, robotics, so and natural language understanding neutral networks. The AI technology made these computers to understand human language as well as recognize graphs and pictures. So nag-evolve na yung computer natin ngayon sa in current generation, no? Kung gaya ng mga robots, no, pagsasabihan lang natin sila, so iyon generate na sa kanilang memory kung ano yung, for example, kung nakita tayo doon sa mga Japan na mga robotics, no, may remote, may voice, at yun yung mga examples. Then the flow of a data on how computer responds. So this is the computer. So first we have the input. So input is so input, flow of data, involves collecting, verifying, and encoding data into a machine readable form for the computer. So data is entered using an input device. Example is yung keyboard and mouse. So after you input, then the will process, no, or including storage to input, pina-process, then ma-store yung yung mga data na ini-input mo doon, then creates useful information from data through operations such as classifying, sorting, calculating, summarizing, storing. So the computer performs useful operations. Examples of processing includes performing calculation, sorting, and lists of words and numbers. So modifying documents and pictures come to users instructions. While data be processed immediately, it can also stored for featuring processing. Then we have two types of storage. So number one is main memory. The second, so let's talk about what is how it works. Then the main memory works through um, holding instructions and data when program in executing, while the second storage called secondary storage, it works to store backup data that comes from primary storage. So the data is called from the primary storage system to the secondary storage system through the use of type relocation of other data protection and recovery techniques. So then input processing, so let's move to output, then it will start. So what is output? So output includes retrieving data, converging them into human readable form, and displaying the information to the user. So the computer produces output. Computer output is information that has been produced by a computer. So some examples of computer output is information include reports and documentation. So after the input processing, the output will store files or transistors, uh, just like what I've mentioned. The transistor is smaller, then it will store to the transistor. So store files or transistors that hold information for later use, such as database, table, or membership form. Data takes between the external entire processes and data of stores. So uh, yun lang po, and maraming salamat. God bless.
Today, sir, my name is Rodel Alegado, and I'll be the last reporter of Group 1, and we'll talk about what computers can do and cannot. Let's proceed to the first slide. So, flow of data and how computer operates. So, we have the input devices, the central processing unit, the backing storage devices, and output devices. So, before we process the data, before we can make it to a readable format, sir, we must first input it. By using the input, this considers the mga mouse, mga microphones, mga webcams. So muna to mga input devices, sir, and ang data nga gihatag ana is raw pa. So after ana is we move to the central processing unit. So the raw data must be processed into analyzing, sorting, graphing, calculating, and etc. So after sa processing unit, sir, the data is makita nimo na arrow nga padulong sa output devices, tapos may arrow nga padulong sa backing storage devices. So kani ang data, sir, is either pwede mo siya i-store or pwede mo siya ato sa output devices, sir. So ang ganing mga backing storage devices, mga itong mga local mga hard drive disk, like sa atong computer, mga memory nga nag-store sa data. So dili siya permanently diri magstay kay ato man siyang gitang sa output devices. So abot na sa output devices, mga makabulat nga ato ang data is na siya sa suitable format or readable format. Like for example, nag-input tag ka ng input tag data nga music. So ang output na so is makatug ta like sa atong input nga music. So example, input tag ka ng mga data na text. So pag output na is graphic, mga graphic design to makita, sir. So wala na ang there is a flow of data and how computer operates. So review lang to, sir, na kay i-report namin sa last na report. So next, sir, is what computers can do. There are according to the information that you have given us, there are 4 things that a computer can do. So base kami sa itong discuss ganyan, sir. So data processing, so data, then process, then information. So converting the data into information, into raw facts, is data processing. So magsugod nga sa data, then i-process na po siya sir, then information. So atong data sir, mo itong mga nga data. So sa processing sir, we have what we call the processing cycle. So sa processing cycle sir, we have the uh, storage siya, storage, then collection, then preparation, input, then processing, then output. So balik ang yun na siya nadra nga way sir, kaya mga gitawag siya nga cycle. So after that sir, so we can proceed to the information into a suitable format or readable. So next slide is the the other thing that a computer can do is control. So computer control many mechanical devices and processes, including robots in factories and traffic lights. So guys, sir, I witnessed this firsthand na nakita ko robot nga anang pamuput sir kay during my during my it's confidential pero kaning ulang mata sir is blurred niya din na side kay na mo gunig scene sa una. So in order to para makapasok ko dito nga sa example academy, I have to undergo the LASIK surgery in medical service. Ato nga robot sir is for medical surgery sir. So ang unang gibuhat is ang doktor nagkuha siya blade, then kiss niya ang lens, then after ito sa butang siya katong kanang anesthesia, then after ito sa kay mo na ni anak mo ning hands sa robot, then kani kay mo na laser dali, then atubang sa mata sa, then wag ning mo siya kanang cellulite sa katong ning baril og laser tools gisunog niya akong dali sa katong iris sulod sa mga 2 minutes at ito gisunog sa, then also after ito gibutang contact lens, then after 3 weeks na heal siya pag kwan sa measure ka ng dali kasi na pumaagi para maayo ka ng realize mo nga ga-evolve ng technology. So na-witness mo na ako siya person. So wala ko nga ang computer day mag-team out. So next is design and development. So the next one is the third thing that computer can do is design and development. So engineers can design product and test it by computer before they are manufactured. So kaning bago sa i-manufacture sa sa mga shopping malls sa mga gamit, na-test pa rin sila computer. Like for example, sa kaning wings aeroplano kay diba kung sa aeroplano siya ko, I don't know if you have experienced this, pero kung na-experience ka na siya. So once na naka sa window nga seat sa din mo, tanaw ni mo sa aeroplano before siya mo lupad kay gina-check sa pilot kung magana-anak ba to yan kanina sa aeroplano na anak mo kung mag-flap ba sa para makuha siya nga makalupad gyud sa safe travel. So ang para sa kay computer po dai ga operate ana. So kani sa ikadong nga picture is kani is the prosthetic hand. So isod po kayo no kung buta sa bakal nga kamot dili siya mo kaning mulihok. So kani siya sir kan ang nag-connect ani sa is the nerves nimo. Then kung sa mong ilihok nga kuan sa certain type mo siya kamo gyud kay ako sir pero hand na siya. So that's a design and development in what a computer can do. So next is the data communications. So like and data processing, I mean there's a similar traits about data processing and data communication. So data communication sir is we are sending a message to other person through internet or transmission media. So mura siya kaning kwan sir, ang best example na ko ani sir sa una kay I don't know if matawag ba nato ang computer ang Morse code, because during the World War sir ang Morse code is kung mag-tap ng kasi dot ba dot then moto ang raw data sir. Then after ang process ana sir is naipapil dito sir kung unsa tong sir pasabot sa gitap-tap nila gitap-tap ng mga dots dito sir, like pila ka dots ang gitap. So moto ang process nga mahitabo sir. After that process sir moto ang readable format niya sir, like ay kani na kalaban diri or kani we need help, we need this, we need troops ana. So more siya data cycle lang gyapon sir. So para na sa data communication. Unlike now is our medium is the internet man, so dali lang kayo siya mag-transfer. Like dali lang kayo siya ma-transfer. So the next is the next slide is functions of a computer. So kanisa sir katong ba nag-topic ng taan nila katong klase. So there are three types of function of a computer. The first one is the arithmetic, the second one is the comparison, and the third one is the storage and retrieval. So kaning arithmetic sir as a function of computer. So computer arithmetic is a field of computer science that investigate how computers should represent numbers and perform operations in them like atong example sir nga binary, decimal, octal, o hepta. So discuss mag-quiz man tana next meeting sir. So, sa diyan ka po na sir. So the next concept is the comparison. So the process of on computer comparison is the process of examining the similarities or differences of data or files and then listing them. So comparing files or text in an easy way to finding all changes between two different files. An example sir kay kaning example kanang imong program sir ba kung wala siya nag-work with sir. Like pila pares man tani ng old nga compare nimong data sa mga world code sir nang na pares man mo kaning pamaagi tas dali sa line nga isa ka line dito sa so, mali din yung gi-input sir mo nang dili mo gana in program ngayon. So that's one of the function of a computer computer comparison. And the next next function sir is the information storage and retrieval. So getting storage and retrieval so is the process of recovering specific of information from stored data. The term information storage and retrieval indicate the system used for organizing knowledge for subject retrieval. So ang nahitabo mo diri sir like ang information gina-store nila like pila na ka years mo labay tapos kung mangita po ka sir like nagip sa dito asad sa anang mangita ka itong information kay ang human brain di ba ka panog mga information unless you have the photographic memory. So with the help of the computer sir we can store the information and use it for future purposes. So the next sir is the what computers cannot do. So basically na mabuhat sa computer na po dili mabuhat sa computer. And the first one is the computer cannot identify the problem to be solved. The second one is the computer cannot decide the output needed to solve a problem. And the third is the computer cannot identify and collect the data needed to produce the output. And the fourth one is the computer cannot design the software necessary to transform the data into a desired output. And the computer cannot interpret and use the information to solve a problem. So there are computers can do and there are computers cannot do. So we have this and in the PT. So sabot myself, no? So that ends our report in the group one. Thank you and have a good day, sir.